Okay, I think we are to the portion of the agenda then for deliberation and decision. That was a question by board members, the way I interpreted that. And so 3A, we're closing the public hearing now and going to deliberation and decision. The board will remain in its seats. I assume we're steaming straight ahead with no break, I assume. Okay? And 3A says timing of decision. As I told the board members upstairs, you actually have three options. You have an option to go ahead and make your decision immediately tonight. You have an option to come back at another date within 10 days and make your decision. You also would have an option, if necessary, if you weren't to dismiss the petition, you determine additional information is required in order to fix boundary lines, you could go into a 30-day delay. Well, we don't have any boundary objections, so I think that pretty much moots the third option. So, is there anyone here, and speak up if you do, that has any reason not want to go forward and decide immediately on this petition? If you do, speak up, and we'll talk about that. Okay, hearing none, then I assume we are going ahead to B, which is ruling on petition, amendment to petition, and objections. Now, you were previously given an amendment to the petition, asking that you allow the petition to be amended tonight to make several minor corrections in the legal description. The petition, in my opinion, obviously was intending to put all the current territory of both districts together into one district, and there were some small corrections made, including one of the changes was just being more specific about the perimeter description of an acreage. So, is there any discussion about the issue of amendment to the petition? Is there a motion to approve the amendment to the petition?
Second. Seconded by Bruce. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
And the petition is amended. Now, the ultimate decision here, since there are no objections, is whether to approve the petition as submitted and send it to election. And the suggested election date is February 2, which is the next possible special election date, or not. And I would just point out to you, there was some discussion about and presentation regarding the AEA plan, the argument that the petition is not incompatible with your AEA plan, that it's consistent with your AEA plan. If you would look in your booklet at the AEA Reorganization Plan tab, section 303, page 3. Actually, starting at the bottom of page 2, there's a statement that says, as required by Chapter 275 of the Code of Iowa, and this is really a statutory quotation as well, Area Education Agency 8, quote, shall, insofar as possible, authorize submission of proposals to the electors as they are developed and approved. That's a section of the code and a section of the AEA plan that gets discussed many times in the decision of whether to approve a petition or not approve a petition. Then if you would move to page 3, what you see on pages 3 and continuing, if you went over, I'm going to ask you to skip ahead to pages 5 and 6. The Code of Iowa talks about the duty of AEA plans to be more specific about districts that have enrollments of 300 or less. but it doesn't require that sort of specificity for districts of 300 or more than 300. And so what you'll find, I think, is if you go over to page 3, and Dr. Forsythe or anyone, if you want to add some more of this discussion, please do. But I think that your reorganization plan there in the middle of page 2 or 3 basically says that you're going to consider a series of factors in deciding whether a proposed reorganization of districts of greater than 300 should be merged. We'll have an enrollment of greater than 300 will be merged. You are to consider the following factors, and it's got a whole series of items there. It says, will it have a reasonable long-term stability? Will it have reasonable long-term stability? Will it be able to comfortably meet the minimum educational standards required by the state of Iowa? Will it be able to operate in an economical and efficient manner? Will it have adequate facilities for the combined student body and so forth? Will it form a reasonable geographic entity, considering the outline of the territory, includes the students and so forth? Has it demonstrated compatibility of existing individual units through sharing agreements and other forms of cooperation? And will it satisfy the matters expressed in Iowa Code Section 275.2? And that has another further list. It's just a statutory list of things that districts can consider, including educational programming, enrollments, evaluations, existing buildings, roads, and so forth. So you just have a series of criteria, and you can think about all those things when you make your decision. This reorganization, proposed reorganization, is like a lot of them that we've seen recently. You have seen and other AEAs have seen. Most of the reorganizations that have been presented recently are in the aftermath of whole grade sharing. So you have districts that are already acting in a lot of ways like they're reorganized, except they aren't, because they're just contractually cooperating through whole grade sharing. So it's kind of a special circumstance, if you will, but that's what your plan says about what you're supposed to be thinking about when you decide whether to approve this proposed reorganization or not. And I think I've said enough there, maybe, and Dr. Forsythe or anybody else.
Does anybody else on the board have any other questions? Hearing none, I guess the chair at this time would entertain a motion for or against the petition.
I'd like to move that this board approve this petition and send the matter to election.
It's been moved by Ray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Right, by Mr. Peterson. It's been duly moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the petition is accepted by the AEA board and is moved to the election on February 2nd. Thank you very much for your participation.
And just one little procedural thing. What the AEA board does now is that there's actually a published order that issues from the AEA that will be coming out as soon as possible and be published in the same newspapers that you've already seen, and maybe even one or two more. And that will commemorate this decision. And then later, preceding the February election date, there will be an election notice in papers as well to inform people